I had to turn off the Tides of Jupiter because we're listening to Dia de los Muertos music from the playlist. Yeah, this song is Abuela Canela or Canela. I'm not sure how, but it's definitely "ca" because there is no soft C in Latin languages. That's an English creation, which is weird because it's Kaiser Salad. And let's see. So I have. Alright, so music's not playing, Asmer's not playing. The face cam showing my face. Things are working. Yeah, I've been using the picture of me with the teacup as my. But it's not, it doesn't look good. You know, like I don't have it. Yeah, I've definitely heard this song, this Abuela Canela or Canela. It's like they're singing and it's like my abuela, or mi abuela, mi abuela. It's supposed to be like a tribute to your grandmother. I don't know where else I've been though that I would have heard this. You know, because it's as a matter of fact, now that I'm saying it, I don't know where I have it on my regular. You know, where I have anything that I'd be listening to it, but I definitely have it. I didn't know it was a. How is a tribute song to? Assuming Canela, it means some kind of like tribute song or something. But how is Abuela Canela? Um, let's just. I'm hypothetically, it means tribute, which is pretty far off the mark because Spanish and English words don't normally go off like that in the middle of nowhere. But um, I got something going on over here. So how's things going at Space Engineers, Grover?
Okay.
So how's things going at Space
I was
Engineers?
just
Okay, huh?
about to.
You're on Triton.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes, we
and
are.
you haven't gotten into orbit yet.
Nope, not yet.
Do you think orbit's going to happen anytime soon?
Hmm. I don't know. I haven't looked at our situation as far as being able to make different types of thrusters. I know we're kind of strapped to be able to make atmospheric ones, but that's not going to get us out into space anyway.
I thought the big thing for atmospheric thrusters was um, titanium and then motors.
Yeah, the titanium, we haven't found any titanium deposits yet. So we're not mining any, and the stuff that we've gotten has been from enemy bases or ships that happen to have heavy blocks on them, heavy armor, and we can tear the heavy armor plate or whatever the component is in those things down and get some titanium out of them.
Well, I mean that's another good reason to have an alternative than vanilla build engine in Space Engineers because it gives you a reason to go salvaging. You know, you get those. I don't think I don't know. I mean, it could be just a perspective thing, but I don't think there's as much of a benefit to salvaging in vanilla as there is in well as there was in Eden's Wrath and now Industrial Overhaul. Um, although you need cobalt to make metal grids, I
Yeah,
guess.
cobalt has not been a problem for us. There was a mine, in fact, it's still got a lot of cobalt in it. That's 50 kilometers or 50 meters from our base. It was an iron, nickel, and cobalt deposit, and we've mined all the iron out of it. So now we're forced to go further afield to find iron. but we've had a couple of buildings that have come up close that we've been able to take over and then completely recycle, tear them down. So we've got tens of thousands. I think at one point we had almost 50,000 steel plates on hand just from salvaging. Now I think we're a little less than 40,000. But that's, way more than we probably need.
So I'm on my continuing super detailing for the oil refineries and the oil production.
Mm-hmm.
And I have 2 oil fields where, there's definitely some, like, if you ride up to it on the train, which is why I always recommend riding on the train, it looks like there's something going on here. There's some depth. There's, I'm working within my talent set,
Mm-hmm.
but it is, I'm trying something. And those 2 feed into a dock on the port where I kind of just duplicated what I did on the other 2. So like they kind of go together as a set of 3. And, there's definitely some stuff that I could do, but this is really just supposed to be coming from an oil well to a transport area. So it's mostly just storage tanks. I've run the piping to be able to say, how does the transfer actually occur? But it's not as awesome as I'd like it to be. Like there's no catwalk over the pipes. They don't look, they don't have that sort of, the vertical and horizontal component like there's a street that they go over or anything. And sometimes I just wonder if where is the terminal?
Holy shit, you really got the thing shut up.
Oh, you still doing repairs?
I just came over and started just putting the blocks back into shape. I'm really not putting any of the blocks back yet.
Mm-hmm.
But man, oh man, there's just stuff torn up on the one side of the Rover, just all over the place.
That could be pretty cool. Does he have a repair projector?
I believe this thing has a projector on it, but I don't know for sure. I know he built it from a blueprint that he got off the workshop, so I would imagine it would be easy enough to set one up. But whether it's actually got one or not, I don't know. Makes fixing them up a lot easier, that's for sure.
Especially if you have a drive-through or a fly-in. Have you tried doing the single plate of glass thing? With the rotor arm?
Nope. I don't know what you're talking about, sir.
Alright, so you take a single rotor arm. And you
What is
run.
a rotor arm?
So you have a so you build a tower like 10 blocks up.
Okay.
All right, and then on that you put so you put a piece of glass, and that's a wall. Okay, so you make a wall like a 3x3 or 5x5 wall, and then on the other side of the glass you get a a rotor where on it you attach obviously conveyor tubes, and because you want parts to flow through them. You attach an arm that goes off at a 90-degree angle. And at the end of the arm, at another 90-degree angle, so it goes in now in the direction that the motor head was facing, the rotor head was facing, you put a welder. And you set the rotor to rotate and spin around. And what happens is, instead of having a welding wall, like 3x3 or 5x5 of these 25 welders, you put 1, 2, 3 welders, or even just, the one, or, the one on this 360-degree spinning, like a propeller blade or a fan blade or a ceiling fan kind of thing. And then as you come up to it, as long as you don't go through the glass, you won't damage, but you'll be within range of the welder. And it'll just rotate around and pick up all the pieces of your ship while it's pressed up against the glass. I have not built one. I have seen one. I thought it was kind of interesting.
On one of the last playthroughs, Morph tried to build a welding wall that was a rotating welding wall. The welders were on a rotor. Instead of building like a block, cube, or a square, rectangle, whatever, of solid welders on a piston, what he did was he put the rotor on the end of the piston, and then the welding wall was only 3 or 5 welders put onto the head of the rotor, and it didn't work very well. It missed a lot of parts and ended up breaking a lot of stuff in the ship that it was working on and on itself too. So we ended up going back to the standard fixed welders with that you just pull back through the projection to make the stuff build. But yeah, I don't know, the glass idea sounds like it might work, but I mean, you got to be able to touch every side of the ship to the wall. And if you're in space, that's not a problem because you got no gravity to deal with. If you're on a planet with a heavy gravity load, you may not be able to do that. Plus, you also have the situation where, it's the same situation anywhere, though, that the range of the welders is limited, and if you have a fairly large ship, you're not going to repair blocks broken way down deep or actually not completed down deep inside the ship because the range just can't reach to them. I mean, we had that one welding wall in the Sally port that was gigantic. It took up the floor, and then it was one wall at one end of the floor.
Oh yeah, big L-shaped thing, yeah.
And then ultimately, I had to build a small one welder wide, or probably 5 long, 1 wide addition at the top of the thing so that you could bring your ship up to the top and have the welder up above the ship to weld pieces that had gotten broken inside the ship from that side. Because the ships were big enough that, just welding them from the bottom, they got up through probably 75% of the height of the ship, but anything up on the top that was broken wasn't getting repaired. So you had to you'd fly down, across the welders that were on the floor, and then you'd put the ship right side, left side, front side, back side up against the vertical wall, and then you'd go up to the wand that came out over the top and fly underneath that to finish off the sixth side of the ship.
Well, I guess for however many maneuvers you have to make, to touch all the welders, it's still quicker than carrying the parts by yourself.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're definitely right about that.
I mean, unless it's some simple job, in which case, when you go to hit the welder, it'll touch it and it's done. So... So there are no cargo tanks that I can put on the docks, but there are buildings that have vents on them that have steam coming out, which very clearly would look well for, keeping a heavy crude oil hot enough that it flows. But again, it's that same thing of like, how do you put a tank, over a square building? And it's I mean, and in the end, I'm always reminded of the koi pond. Just put something down. It'll look way better than anything without it. And that's really what you're looking for, Just because you're not going to come here and look at it and go, ladies and gentlemen, come right this way, and please get some cheese and a glass of wine. We're going to look at my refinery. It's ironic that I say that, because we were just talking about that painting by Grant Wood, American Gothic, which has been parodied quite a bit. I wonder if is it been parodied because it's such a great painting, or famous, or is it just something that every art theater major kid learns about in college, so they want to pay tribute to it because their professor told them, and this is amazing. I'm not a judge of art, so I can't really say. All right, so this gets us fuel. Hey, good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining in. If you have any questions about where we are, what we're doing, feel free to just toss them in chat. We'll be glad to help you. Get you caught back up to speed. And if you're enjoying the music, Feliz Dia de los Muertos. So I checked before I came on my parking lot goofy car thing today. Oh man, talk about sass mouth. So that lady goes, "You want me to drive you back to the parking lot in Voorhees so that you'll get more views like you did yesterday?" Like just oof, lots of jelly came out of that one there. Jeez.
well,
Because her post for the day did not get anywhere, you know, the level of attention, and it's just, you know, and I reminded her, it's like, hey, I don't plan these things. It's just, you know, something just happened and I just happened to walk into it, you know. I'm just flowing with the river. And I'm in Libra, so I'm the scales. You know, I'm always in balance. You know. So maybe something bad happened to me a few days ago. You know, like my tea got cold. The next day it gives me 4,500 views, and it's still going up today. Me in a parking lot going, "Happy Halloween." You know, like who's watching that video today? I don't know. But YouTube is still handing it to them.
mm-hmm.
It's like, I'm fine with that. Yeah, we can't use this. We can use this over at the chemical plant. All right. Who stops here? Beaumont.
Getting this hydrogen synthesizing algae.
Is that because you're doing the Triton ice?
There is no stuff that comes out of Triton's ice. It's just ice. We got some samples from the ships that we've taken down, and they've both been this alien lake ice, and the only thing it's given us is the H2 synthesizing algae.
It's not giving you any stuff you can put into the food system?
Nope. We need I think the photosynthesizing algae.
Wow. Well, what have you been drinking?
Water.
Well, where are you getting the ice for the water?
This planet is made out of ice.
I'm confused. Where are you getting the ice that's not ice? Is there like two different types of ice that you're getting out of the ground?
No, we're not. Like I said, let me repeat myself.
All right.
We got some samples from some ships that's called alien lake ice.
Oh, okay.
It's a different color.
All right, I'm with you.
We put it into our little water filter system, and it poops out regular ice like we get all over the place on this planet, and then the algae samples, but it's only H2 synthesizing algae.
Okay, I'm with you.
Just the wrong kind of stuff to use in the food system.
Well, have you found some production system that lets you use it?
Well, there's a hydrogen farm that you can build in the game that uses the it's like the O2 farm that you can use on ships in space.
Okay.
And if you have one space engineer, you need 3 of the farms to keep them supplied. But these things, this algae, you can put it into that H2 system and it will produce hydrogen for you.
Let's just turn around. The new Addams Family show or movie should be coming out soon. I think it's just no show. He has a show. Oh, I miswired this place quite a bit. So today, did you catch the thing that today is Happy Mariah Carey season?
No.
So you're familiar with Mariah Carey, right?
Yes.
And apparently she's a big Christmas singer.
Yes. She's had a number of Christmas albums.
Well, apparently she makes these videos announcing that it's Mariah Carey season.
Okay. Open season on Mariah Carey? All right.
It's definitely kind of interesting because having never heard of it before. I saw somebody say it yesterday.
Oh, you lead such a sheltered life.
Well, I mean, I thought it was a joke. Like somebody said, oh, it was somebody who said Halloween. No, this is the night before Mariah Carey season. Like that was, and I was like, that's actually pretty funny, for those crazy people who are playing Christmas music like tomorrow. And then lo and behold, she has a video announcing it, that it's Mariah Carey season. I was like, wow. Yeah, I need the name for a chemical plant outside of Shreveport. So, chemical plant. I mean, I guess the first question is, what chemical plants are there in the entire United States, let alone you know, in Louisiana outside of Shreveport.
I don't know.
Because like I wouldn't think there's like how many different chemical plants could there be? There are more than 300 chemical plants in Louisiana. Okay, apparently I'm not up on the chemical plant industry or its coming and goings.
Got Dow, Monsanto, bunch of different ones.
These 4 South Louisiana chemical plants are the top 10 super polluters in the U.S. Well, I'm going to definitely take one of those for the name of the place. Okay, ranked Sasol Chemicals, BASF, and Shell Chemical. Well, I'll use BASF because, like, I know that name. So Shreveport Chemicals is becoming BASF Chemical. Yeah, you know, my thing is you spend so much time playing this game. How can you just keep, you know, some simple name for things? You know, rename it, spruce it up, make it big. You know? Granted, my oil fields are called 005 field. There's not a lot of creativity in it. But, I mean, how am I got 8 or 7 oil fields. How am I supposed to name them? Well, here's how I name them. If somebody joins and they follow me on Twitch, then I change the name of the place and name it after them. Okay, so we need 2 new trains. Gotta pause the game to buy a train. Alright. Clone. No depot found. Oh, that's bad. Let's try it over here. No depot found. I wonder if... I'll wait till it's in the station. Alright, so this thing will come in the station. Then try and clone it. Alright, manage vehicle. Clone. Nope. Ain't happening. Huh. What's broke? guess it's back to the drawing board. All the way back up here. I wonder if we broke something in St. Louis. And the caboose. Damn it. I bought two and now I don't have the dollar numbers to name them. Sorry, Pacific 83. Okay. She goes to Beaumont Field. Unable to find Pat. I broke something. I got two trains down here yesterday or the day before. And now I can't get them out of St. Louis and down here. Which means I broke something. Which is whacked. Yeah, how am I supposed to trace a break in the line this distance? All right, we come over here. One-way track everywhere. Ooh, oh. You remember the other day when I said, "Oh, that's got to be something, boy. Something in the distance just disappeared." It's a big stretch.
Yeah.
It's a big stretch of track.
Whoops.
Yeah,
that happens.
That explains that thing. Like I'm just riding down the line looking for some mistake in the track, and it's like, no track. Go. The mystery is solved.
That's what happened.
Here's your snack, Scooby. All right, so this is Beaumont, and this is number 5. Number 5. And Beaumont. Isn't that Johnny 5 is alive? Is that what that is? With the little robot thing?
Yeah, that's...
Short Circuit? Is that the name of the movie?
I think you're right.
So I bought 2 new trains. They have to drive from St. Louis down to Shreveport before they can pick up a single load of cargo. See, this is a thing that normal people, YouTubers, would do. I believe they call it offline. You know, where they would say things like, "All right, chat, we don't want to bore you with this, but
We'll be right back," and then they pull the one that's already done out of the other oven.
Yeah. See, and then, you know, people or me are sitting here like, why you couldn't find something else to do? You know, that's like a half-hour train ride. You didn't have other stuff. Like, you couldn't have put it up there in the window, you know, like this. Just leave it up in the window, And now it's always up here. You can do other stuff. You don't have to sit here and ride along with this thing. I mean, I'm just riding along with it because I have a rule that says when I put a train on a new line or any vehicle, the first time on a line, I ride the line because, you know, I do them obviously. I make imperfections and I miss stuff, or, like I put something down and then I delete it and I put it down next to it. And then if I'm at, low level with the camera, I might see that I left some straggling trash on the ground somewhere. So. You never know what's going on. Did I tell you about the furries that I looked into? I think you were here for that, weren't you?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. I might want to join your fan club, but it requires me to be a furry member. I'm like, I don't even know what that is. I've heard of it. I don't know if it entails anything. It could be a cult. Could be for fun. I don't know. But I'm out. And I actually don't know where furries are from. I think they might be from My Little Pony. And if they are, I don't know how you get furry out of My Little Pony. I would think like a teddy bear. Like Winnie the Pooh would have a furry fan club. Maybe their tails are furry. You would think I'm new on this planet sometimes. My complete lack of knowledge of common shit. How can you not know that? People are on Wheel of Fortune knowing these things all day long. It's like, yes, that's exactly why I don't know it. I am not your phone a friend on Wheel of Fortune. So you got Christmas decorations up?
No.
Have you started your Christmas Halloween's still up?
Sure. It was only yesterday.
But how long will it take to get the Halloween decorations down?
Don't know.
Do you do roof lights?
No.
Yeah, I think our roof lights will go up in a couple days. And because we're on a very windy corner and we're the corner house that gets all the wind, there's like a ton of permanent anchor clips. Like those little plastic clips you can slide under the shingles. We have a bunch of them out of stainless steel that are screwed into the framing of the roof. Because otherwise, any lights that we try and put up there are just gonna... See, this is where my eyes deceive me. Because I'm riding on the train and it's like, that is a big bump there. It's like, no, it's really not. We are going to fix it anyway. I'm opening up the Take All My Money tool, and I'm going to be very careful. Unlike yesterday, where I lost all my money. I cannot believe I went bankrupt yesterday. I mean, I didn't go bankrupt, I just went broke. But I cannot believe I, like an idiot, went broke with...
Hey, what did you spend yesterday? $690 million?
Yeah, yeah. And it wasn't even on an area where I was supposed to be on the map. It was, I was doing a tour and talking about the map. And it was like, well, and like over here, I have this thing, and like I've just never fixed it because first off, I never had the money, and now that I have the money, I guess I can give it a little touch up. Can't do any more. Like what? Like just that quickly, all that money was just gone. I was like, that was days worth of money built up. Yeah, just gone. I mean, that's one of the reasons that I don't like doing any, terrain modifications. Because, I mean, there are people I've seen them do it. I mean, again, they're playing a different game style, where it's like they come into an area on a station and it's like, okay, it's perfectly flat. Now let's make it look cool. And I'm always like, hey, it's perfectly flat. How come it's not flat? How do we even fit it in this place?
Player disconnected. Hero.
What's the name of that song about? This is another song that I know is like, it's a song being redone on Spanish guitar. La última vez. What does that mean? It's something like, and I let it all out, or La última vez in English. The last time. Do you know a song called The Last Time? Riley Sager, Gary Lightbody, and Taylor Swift. The Eagles. No, The Last Time. No, that's because that's where I live. The last time the Eagles. I'm looking for music. The next line says "Beat the Cowboys." This is definitely a song. It's just been redone in Spanish guitar. Like it's something like, and I let it all out.
I think the Rolling Stones did a song called The Last Time.
Well, would definitely have been an easy listening sort of song.
Yeah, this was an easy listening one.
Yeah. I don't know, I wonder. I am not connected to chat. Why am I not connected to chat?
I don't know.
That is weird. I don't know. It's one of these things where it's like, I got the software, I've been using it, but, I don't really need it. I could work around it. And then stuff like this happens, and it's like, why am I still using it? But let's try refreshing chat. No, I got a problem with chat. What are the 4,000 people that yelled at me saying, you're messed up, you're not working right? Try it over here. Chat rules. Okay, got it. It made me just agree to my own chat rules. Huh. Does it even recognize me as me here? Broadcaster. Yeah, I guess it does. It's funny that it made me chat settings, mod view, whatever that is. Oh, this is a whole window of chat stuff. So you have to have an account for more than 10 minutes to chat here. Okay, according to this, I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 8 people watching the stream. First off, thank you all for joining. Thank you so much. Number 2, cannot one of you say you suck in chat? You know. Does none of you know the name of that song that just played? Am I the only one? Are these people just sitting here listening going, this guy is such an idiot? How does he not know it's the Star-Spangled Banner? You know, like what is the... Man, there's a whole menu of commands here. I should pay more attention to what I'm actually doing here. I'm mostly just playing the game, having fun. You know. Yeah, a whole freaking chat interface just came up. All sorts of commands, options. It's kind of cool looking. But my stream quality is excellent. But then the other thing over here says, yeah, we can't even connect you to chat. So I'm taking that as 2 conflicting messages. Oh, I did solve a problem I was having for a while with a lot of pixelation in the stream. Like I would come back around to watch the stream later, and it'd be like, is that, like, do I have this set for broadcast how I see? It was not. It was definitely some very low quality pixelated stuff. Man, I'm gonna have to... Oh, if we just killed a moose. I mean, it stepped out on the tracks just as the train was coming. The train did not skip a beat. 60 kilometers and plowing. So I took a look again at that railway building game. The one where you actually chop down trees and lay down the cross pieces and stuff. And that's, well, it's, I mean, is that what you want to call them? When you,
they're called,
well,
I know.
Yeah, these are things that you put down in the ground and then you ride over it with your train, and your train falls into the ground up to the stack, and the stack smoke is coming out the top. So
Well,
I'm not...
Be a magic train.
Yeah, or it's some kind of magic ties. But like, I have not seen anybody stream the game that has addressed those problems. You know? Oh, here's another. And we almost got that one. It's just... what I've seen is people say stuff like, hey, the game's a lot of fun. There's more patches coming out. Give it a try. It's like, are you being paid to say this? How about this sucks? We played here for an hour or 2 and it crashed on us constantly. Bobby, go fix your code. I don't know. Even with every crash I ever had in Soviet Republic, the game still played for me. You know? Like the game would crash and I mean, you know how I play. The game would crash and I would step back and look at it and I'm like, let me go post this on the workshop. Let me go post this on Facebook. And people would be like, what is all this stuff here? And I'm like, okay, that's me pushing things too far. And then one day the game had some bug fixes and all of a sudden, you know, the populations of my cities exploded. Because, you know, I was dealing with game mechanics and pushing stuff too far. And so, like, I mean, I'm certainly somebody that will give the game the benefit of the doubt. I think. We're heading to the turnaround. We're on the wrong side of the track. fix that up here. How did we forget this? Oh, we didn't put any signals in there. It's just the Wild West out here. Trains coming and going any way they damn well feel like. Oh, that wasn't even the station I was working on. Yeah, I would have. There's a perfect example. I would have never caught that error, and you know, weeks later. You know, hey Chad, if 10 of you type in chat, I'll eat a spoon of mayonnaise. No. Go to a different. Go to the morning zoo. They're gonna do that kind of stuff with you. The morning zoo. So we're at BASF Chemicals of Shreveport. We shouldn't be here. But it's where the game chooses to go, because the game always chooses to go, where's the place that will cost him the most money? Let's go there first. Oh, there was a stag. We almost caught it. You know, it's a transport game. It's a small thing. There's some animals that run around. You know, when you're out here in the wilderness, you have a chance of seeing some animals, chance of picking them off with your train or your truck. Chance of watching it stare at you going, where's that train going? And then you wonder, how does a stag know what a train is? Oh, Claire wants fuel. This is day 3. This is my 3rd or 4th day of me working on fuel. It's my 4th day. My 4th day of working on fuel down here in Texarkana area. I have not delivered a drop of fuel to a single city yet. It's just all this time trying to hook stuff up. And then I watch and I talk to other people streaming this game. It's like, I mean, I really do try not to sound like an obnoxious or pretentious jerk. You know, like I come in, I chat, I say hello, you know, I see what they're working on, I ask them a question. Just be nice, you know, because I'm hoping to find some people who go, hey, you know, by the way, we have a club for people who play city builders. Why don't you come join our city builder team? And, you know, you might find somebody that wants to do a map share or something else, you know. Things that I've done with other people before, but, you know, maybe find somebody that actually, you know, wasn't sponsored by, you know, the developers of City Skylines with 200,000 followers each. You know, oh, they're doing a global map share challenge. Hey, that's great. But where are the other, you know, where are there even 5 other users that want to do it? Like, it's, I've talked to people about it. We've shared maps once and they disappear. I figure if I could find a streamer that's doing it, you know, maybe they'll, where the hell is this train going? Oh, we haven't even left Shrewsbury. Boy, talk about being new to this area of the map. I'm sitting here yelling at myself going, where are you going? It's the train hadn't even pulled out of Shreveport yet. Like I had no idea how big Shreveport was. So this guy should go to the refinery and pick up some chemicals. No, it should pick up oil. It's dropping off crude. It's picking up oil. And then it's going back to the chemical plant in Shreveport. And then on the way out of the chemical plant, it stops off at an oil field and picks up crude and then takes that back to the refinery. So it's a route that has like almost nothing deadheading going on. Is that our other new train? Yes, it is. I keep that pinned. Some of this music is very good train music. The Spanish guitar stuff.
Okay.
You know. I don't think Mariah Carey's music is going to be very good train music. Are you familiar with Whamageddon?
I don't think so.
Are you familiar with the Wham Christmas song, Last Christmas I Gave You My Heart?
Yes.
So the thing is, you share with your group of friends or social media circles, whatever, or online friends. You start the Whamageddon challenge, and everyone's on the honor system to post when they hear Wham, and then they're out. And the question is, can you be the one who goes the longest without hearing Wham's Last Christmas I Gave You My Heart? Now, obviously, it assumes that you listen to Christmas music.
Yeah. That's correct.
So where do you listen to Christmas music? Chicago Station?
My wife has a whole boatload of Christmas albums that she likes to start playing. Stop playing.
Oh, we don't have a water tower here. But we do have 168 oil. You know what? Every place doesn't need the exact same water tower. Where is this guy? Oh, he's out here at Beaumont. Yeah, these routes are not... it is a haul to bring the oil into their refineries. Yeah, I had somebody ask, I had a discussion with somebody actually on one of the groups about moving stuff around. I was surprised that most people weren't moving, resources around. Like here, all the iron is up in Minnesota. It gives you a challenge. Quite the opposite. I saw one guy do a very detailed, nice looking map. Look under the hill, or under the hill. Look under the hood. he had tweaked the game so that like he only needed one resource. Put that resource everywhere. I was like, why GGW? Excuse me. But still. All right, we got 3 people. Let's see who we got. Well, good evening, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I don't know why the chat commands aren't working. I'll have to figure that out later. I'm sure there's a way to reset it, but, you know, probably requires you to leave the stream and come back, which I'm not going to do. Yeah, I put this picture up. I don't have a border around or anything. Like, I did a really... I believe lazy is the word. It's like now that I'm looking at it, like it just shows me how bad it is. And it's up top. Oh man, I don't even have that turned on. What have I been doing? I did not configure overlays or anything. What a slacker. Did I put it in here? Oh, here you go. Tonight's stream is sponsored by my wife. I put an icon in to give me that. Chat box, that's there. Discord voice is working. Alert box. Man, I don't know what I did with it. It's supposed to have a little a stream or something over here. You would think I've done this before. And done it badly then too. Well, that's another thing to fix. But it ain't gonna get fixed tonight. Because like I don't even know where the logo went to. All right, so we picked up some crude. We're heading into the refinery. Yeah, we don't actually use that line. That just delivered from the depot. I don't know what half the words are in these songs. And the other half, I'm sure I've misinterpreted it. Like this song right here. It's a woman singing, very beautiful voice. The music is really entertaining. And she says, "Ah, amigo," uh, or "Ah, amiga." I'm assuming she doesn't mean the computer, but you know, the rest of the context of the song, you don't have to know what the words mean to enjoy the song. Cara mia, is that love? That's a word I got wrong in Spanish class in high school a lot. Cara mia? I'm gonna go with love or sweetheart. Did I tell you I thought about going to play on a Rust Japanese server for a while?
No.
Yeah, I was like, well, the day. So I spent 18 hours one day on a Rust Spanish server. And I was like, I don't know shit. Spanish. I should come back here every day just until I get fluent enough to play these games with these people. You know. And then I was like, well, if I'm going to do that, why don't I go pick a language I know nothing about? And I was like, Spanish. It's like, okay, find a language I know even less about. I was like, I can go play on a Japanese server. Let's see, the name of the song is Para Mi Amiga by Caro Luna. Let's not do that again. Okay, so just to recap, we have connected the chemical plant and 3 oil wells into the refinery. They certainly look different. We accidentally, on purpose, didn't put water towers at each of these stations. I've been putting water towers everywhere I go because first off, they're steam trains. They need the water. But, now that I haven't put them down, it's giving them a different character. I think that's the biggest thing about detailing stuff in these video games. Don't build the same thing over and over again. Make it look a little different. I put a firehouse here. I don't have a good old looking firehouse. I got this one, which might as well be the firehouse down the street from my house. This one, which it's a firehouse with a 8-foot high cyclone fence all the way around it. That does not say 1900s firehouse to me. It also doesn't say firehouse out in the middle of a field. This one looks like it could be from friggin' what was the name of that show? Was it Emergency 911? Can be. I couldn't have been that. That was before 911 came out. The California Fire Department, where the thing was about the rescue truck that was part of the fire department.
I think it was just called Emergency.
Was it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And the hospital was Rampart.
Rampart Base.
Yeah. And when you watch it now and you look past it, it's like So here's the emergency radio that we use to talk to the paramedics out in the field. It's just a radio with like a microphone just left on the counter, and some nurse walking by going, picking it up, going, Rampart Base, is somebody dying? What? Like just this like completely unattended just just sitting there. Like was that, I don't know, maybe it was a propaganda effort to get more money for the budget. Okay, this looks old school. It's all made out of brick. We could do this one. Well, if we're going to do that, we'll put it out at the refinery. I put it in backwards. I don't have any fire trucks to put in there. And I put it down crooked. This is an episode on super detailing. Should be getting a lot of tips on how not to do it. There we go. Right in the grass. Awesome. Well, now we definitely need a water tower. Did William tell you what package he got there over in Robert Space Industries?
No.
I wonder if he got like the starter ship or a bigger package or something. Okay. Now, to make the fuel, we got to get over to here. And when we ended up last time, we just put this in as a placeholder. So let's get this built up. Excuse me. Didn't hit the button quick enough. Yeah. Come on, click in. What are you doing? I thought I had figured out how to do this. Let's check our water levels. No, we got enough water here. Oh, she almost did it. She is not. Get rid of this one. There we go. Okay. So we need to get from Do you remember the name of the transfer station that's bringing crude oil up here to the Vidalia Harbor? The Atchafalaya. Or Atchafala.
Itchy-phallus, yeah, that's it.
The Vidalia Oil Transfer. Alright, we're picking up here. And we're taking over there. Wow, this will get us oil. I'll actually have fuel oil now. Alright, those things are coming from up here. They won't be here for like a half hour. If we're lucky. Alright, so they're coming out of the St. Louis shipyard. And here comes number one. Alright. Do you want a ship named after you? Click follow. I will pay all the registration and transfer fees to put the ship in your name. You know, I play this game enough. If I was nerdy, I would have some sort of animated emote with a bottle of champagne cracking against the side of the screen, you know? Alright, these things got a way to go. They gotta go all the way down. We'll bookmark one, pin it. Yeah, past Cape Girardeau, past Carruthersville, past the Memphis Lighthouse, all the way down here to the Vidalia Harbor. All right. All right, let's pick some low-hanging fruit here. Can I send... Yeah, see, Natchez. Natchez, Opelousas, Baton Rouge. All right, all right, I need the name for a fuel refinery in Louisiana. All right. There's the Chevron Pascagoula refinery. There's the Ergon refinery up in Vicksburg. Well, I mean, Vicksburg is right next to Natchez. So I guess we're calling this place Ergon. White oil, but that's in Saltillo. Saltillo is over there on the eastern side. Yeah. I mean, Laurel Oil, that's in Laurel. Laurel, you would know. Oh, the White Oil Company is also in Tupelo. If you have an office in Tupelo and you have an office in Saltillo, you're kind of strange. They're two different towns. They're right next to each other. All right, we're going with Ergon. Because Ergon's up there in Natchez. Or Vicksburg. And there you go, in case you were wondering how far it is to Ergon to Vicksburg. So the name of our refinery is Ergon. All right, so now we need a line. Going from here, we're gonna draw. Are we gonna truck it into Natchez? No. And then Baton Rouge. Okay, we're gonna call this Refinery Inc. Baton Rouge. This song right here does not sound. It's called Nieto. Nieto. Man, I gotta download this. This is. That goes in the nighttime rotation. Man, this Epidemic Soundboy, they have gotten, I mean, whatever their algorithm is for music, I mean, they have given me like 200 songs that I just freaking love. All right. The oil is going to come here. Oh, that's right. We put the terminal back here. All right. And she's going to deliver. Oh, still using a horse and buggy. How is that possible? Man, we are not paying attention. Upgrade these vehicles. Oh, I know why, because we haven't been on that side of the river yet. All right, so cargo comes in here. I don't know how I built this. This looks like such crap. Not sure that's better. Okay. Ergon Refinery. Truck depot here. Okay, clone. Put that ship on the Baton Rouge run. And she gets a name. She's the Ergon B. Getting closer. They're still way fucking nowhere. Haven't even made it past Cape Girardeau yet. This map is it's just another moment where I'm reminded this map is stupid large. Just but
you wanted, right?
I mean, it does give me... It does present lots of challenges. All right, let's see. All right, those things are going to be here whenever. In the meantime, all right, we're going to start bringing fuel into New Orleans. Yeah, who down here wants fuel? Let's see, New Orleans, White Kitchen, Gulfport. How convenient. None of the other cities on the Gulf Coast want it, but Tallahassee does. So I have to push a train all the way across the map with fuel on it. All right, let's make this station a little bigger. Wait. That's we're not modifying New Orleans on a whim. There's too many trains going in and out of there. I am not gonna touch that with on a lark. That's not. You know, these guys, we could have them drop off oil here, pick up the crude. Oh, we should do that. Okay, so they're at Vidalia Harbor. And then they're going to come over here to the Ergon Refinery. Okay, they are going to load nothing. She's going to load oil and unload crude. And up here, they're going to load crude. Well, I'm never going to do that. All right. She comes out of here. And she's going down here. This song is like, and then I let it out. The song is playing again. Like something, I don't remember when, something. And then like I let it out. I almost think it's a Simon & Garfunkel song. Like it's that era of, you know, those three bands that existed back then. I know what I'll do. I'll turn my music up to blazingly loud. I'll launch Shazam on my phone, and I'll have Shazam go, can't figure out the song. It's like, really? Thought you knew every song in the world. If there's a song and it has an earwig in it, and I ask Shazam to find it, never has it ever helped me. Have you ever used Shazam to try and find music?
No.
I hope my raving review doesn't dissuade you. All right, so the Baton Rouge. We're going to clone this. Okay, we are currently a 303 level company with 102 ships sailing the map. It's just insane. And I'm nowhere done. So now the question is, do I it's a moot point. I was going to ask now where do I decide which fuel oil goes to cities by train and which ones go by barge? And the answer is they go by barge. That's the whole point. It's the name of the series, Mississippi River. Of course, they're going by barge. I mean, they can be local trained, but okay. All right, fuel goes to Cincinnati. Okay, fuel goes to Chicago. Well, Cincinnati will get fuel to Indianapolis. And those barges carrying steel down are going back empty. Yeah, but I'm not going to send fuel back that way. I want a fuel barge to carry it. So we're going to deliver fuel.
Well, I'm going to knock off a little.
Crowbar, you have a good night, sir. Take care of yourself.
Thank you. Good night.
All right, so yeah, that's definitely that Abuela Canela song. All right, we got to figure out where we're getting fuel up here. Are we going to drop it off in Chicago? In which case, I mean, is it going to get trucked over to here and carried out by train? I mean, we have the tunnel for the freight line. Or do we bring it into Gary and then we pick it up from here and take it over to the train station? We got a lot of stuff sitting here. Yeah, but we have open space. Let's make use of Gary. We'll send it to Gary. Well, how many are you going to put on that line? I don't know, 3 or 4. That's a long run. Well, it's better than running the trains. I mean, I don't think so. Well, see me in 10 years and... All right, so... we'll make them go to all the ports when we do this all at once. So this is Ergon, Chicagoland. Okay, so we have Ergon going to Cincinnati. They can stop anywhere. Okay, now Ergon going to Baton Rouge. They can also stop anywhere. Okay, the Ergon Chicagoland. They can stop anywhere. Anywhere there's an open port. Just pick up your fuel and get the hell out of here. That's our bigger concern. All right, New Orleans and St. Louis. Okay, now, how are you getting fuel to Minneapolis, St. Paul? It's going up by river, buddy. Okay. Comes out of here. Has a long-ass barge run. Just the name of the game. So, yeah, don't even think of touching this crap. There's just too much stuff going on. Well, it has to. There's no port up here. And this is where the trains are outside of Winona. That's crazy. Well, here's what we could do. We could do it in Dubuque. Because we do have train service out of here. And it will give us a reason for Dubuque to be doing something. All right, so we're going to call this... no, I mean, what are we going to call it? Minnesota. No, just call it Dubuque. Yeah, well, it's not covering Dubuque. It's covering all of Minnesota. Okay. Did you know we didn't have a freight harbor in Minnesota? I actually thought we did. That's what I was coming up here to grab. I mean, you have to go over here to Rochester. There's a lot going on here. And there's nothing connecting. Well, it could get on a second barge and come across. Yeah, I want to keep the fuel on fuel barges. You know, for looks. All right, I mean, I hear you. All right, so now let's get down to back to Dubuque. Well, we can do it here at the shipyard. All right, so we added Minnesota. They can load up at any port. Just click it once, let it load up. There you go. Okay. All right, now let's look at some ships. All right, Ergon Cincinnati. She doesn't have a ship. The Baton Rouge. All right, give me a clone of that. And she goes on the Cincinnati line. The line that has a space in it, which it shouldn't have. Okay. So, Baton Rouge has a ship. Chicagoland. Clone me 4 of these. Just clone 1. Put that one on the Chicagoland run. Okay, now. Give me 3 of these. Now you got 5. Idiot. Alright, Ergon. The Ergon Gary. The Ergon Chicago. The Ergon Milwaukee. The Ergon. What the? Oh, bring back. How you getting the fuel to Duluth? Oh, no, we're taking... That's going by barge. There's no way. That's leaving Gary and going to... Okay. Well, then what is this called? That's, Lake Geneva. Okay. Now, give me a clone of this. And put it on the Minnesota run. Okay. Ergon Cincinnati. Okay. New Orleans, St. Louis. St. Louis better double that up. So that's the Ergon Kansas City. The Ergon St. James. Why are all these barges? Why are all these barges? Yeah, why are all these barges named Ergon? Well, it's the name of the refinery we went with. So, how are you getting oil into Huntsville? I think that'll just go by train. I mean, it's leaving Vicksburg and going inland. So, all right, Minnesota. All right, well, give me 3 of these. Wausau, W-A-U-S-A-U. Okay, and Ergon, Madison. It's a capital, and in the name. Okay, so what else we got going on? Madison, Cincinnati. He's gonna need 2. And she's gonna need 3. Ergon, Louisville. And Ergon, Indianapolis. You know, because at this point, if we change the ships, like let's say we start pulling the harbor up there from Collinsville. Okay, then we just move the ship, and she's already got the name of the city that she's servicing. So I mean, this will work out pretty. Don't even dare say easy. It's going to be a freaking nightmare. I know these are going to be all over the place, banging into each other, running empty for the long. Well, they're barges. We don't care if they run empty. What we do when we're losing 5 million a cycle. All right, so St. Louis has 3. There's 2 going down to New Orleans. There's 4 going up to Minnesota. There's 3 going to Cincinnati. There's 5 going to Chicago. 1 going to Baton Rouge. Yes. All right, now give me a line that takes fuel. We're coming into Gary. Yep, and she's going to grab fuel, and she is hauling it all the way over here to Duluth. Yep. You know, we could deliver it here to Chippewa Falls and pick up these guys. I think you have enough barges running up here. So, no, back off. And they're leaving. Don't these things carry any? I believe we said... Yeah, and you're in luck because they don't carry fuel. Yeah, no, we're fuel goes on a fuel barge. Okay. Do we have any other towns up here? Yeah, we have Duluth and Grand Rapids and Fargo. Okay. Okay. Three. That's a long trip. Okay. No, clone. Okay. Okay, Ergon Duluth. Ergon Fargo. And Ergon Cedar Rapids. Okay. So that gets us fuel pretty much everywhere on the map. Now we have fuel going to... All right, so we're working the #1 oil field, that comes up here to the Atchafalaya terminal. Okay, we're working field #2. That goes to the Atchafalaya terminal. Okay, what's sitting here right now? 1,100 barrels. Okay, get a couple more ships on here. What are you doing? All right, everybody that follows, you'll get a ship named after you. I need some followers. Let's go, because I need names. All right, now then we have so that's 2 trains over there. All right, now we have a train that comes up here to Beaumont. And she's not doing her job. God, it's a long trip. Yeah, she's coming back now. But she picks up from these 2 places. Yeah. All right, let's double her up. Wait, you didn't check the others. No, I didn't. Let's be methodical here. All right, there's 20 waiting. All right. How about up here? 24. Okay, so our problem's definitely over here. All right, let's double up this train. Clone it. The Missouri Pacific 1325. Okay, so now there's 2 trains working this line. All right, and then for this line, which does chemicals, we've got 205 waiting. Which way are we going? We're coming in with plenty of space. Should we stop and have her fill up? The answer to that is always no. Let them fill up. Let them fill and go. Because this is a supply run. You know, if it's sitting at the factory, that's a different story. But you know, if it's out here at a supply field, it should just pick up, fill up, and go. Well, what if I got a few extra cars? Well, then you got too many cars on the train. You know. What if it's trucks? Well, they can wait, because you don't want a truck running empty. But if you have a train with a little bit of space on it, it's still moving and it keeps the flow of goods going. All right. Now, we're not making any chemicals yet because we don't have anywhere to send them. We need to set up a system going to a goods plant. That's a whole other route of stuff to work on. All right, so the refinery should be doing pretty good. She hasn't upgraded yet, but there is a second refinery right here. We just don't have it on the map. All right, what do we got going on here? All right, we got 143 pieces of oil waiting to go back out to the chemical plant. All right. Can we change the name of this line? Yeah, it's the BASF Chemicals line. All right. What was that? Yeah, I don't think we can have this. This is the problem with having a route do the same thing as another route. You know, we get nonsense like this. So let's just nix it. Let's put these guys down here, bringing crude up, come up here, transfer to here. Because there's no oil going back this way. There could be. Yeah, actually there should be. Yeah, you know what? That'll go to, that's the Natchez, Baton Rouge, Opelousas line. That's what'll get fuel out here to these guys. But we don't have the track configured for it. We can put the Y in here. Don't think we can't. But, well, if it's... John. It can't be Tristan up this late. It's got to be John. John, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
I am streaming. Do you want me to turn the stream off?
I'm watching your stream right now.
Oh, okay. You just missed Crowbar like by 2 minutes.
Oh. I was just turned on YouTube and I saw yours popped up right away, so I figured
I hope you're doing well.
I am. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
How was Halloween around your neighborhood? It's your first time in the neighborhood. Did you have...
We had one set of trick-or-treaters.
One? Wow. Did you, by chance, see the video that I posted in general chat?
No.
There is a video in general chat right above the Pabst family pack. You know, the 99 can family pack thing they came out with? That video up there, it's very short. If you could watch it and then just tell me what you think. Because that was taken last night at the end of the trick-or-treaters. Matter of fact, that was the last trick-or-treater. It's just a blank screen. It says movie 4824. Do you see the Pabst 99 beer thing? The 99 can family pack?
Is that under streams?
No, under general. It's in general chat.
General. Okay. Oh. Yeah.
Let me know when you watched it.
Yeah, I saw the PBR.
Yeah, it's the one right above it. It's just a blank. It's just a black box.
What did he do? Just take everything?
He took everything off my daughter's front porch. She was livid. Yep.
He danced for you.
People have told her that. She has not found it funny. Ironically, it has fueled her. Her ire of the situation. Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
I was like, so are you going to show it to the sheriffs at the desk at work? Because she's a deputy in the courthouse. And she's like,
Wow.
yeah, I know. She was not. But, you know, she's, she has her, you could tell that she's her father's daughter because she's pissed. You could tell that she's also her mother's daughter because she's like, why do I want to ruin someone's life over a $10 Halloween basket? it's just funny. Because she called as soon as it happened because she was livid. She's got 2 camera footage of the whole thing. She's got People's Court Judge Judy level evidence. So
I lost the stream.
yeah, it might have flipped out while you were.
Yeah.
So Crowbar and I were talking about music earlier, and a song came up called "Everything Is Beautiful."
Oh, okay.
Do you know that song?
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
Yeah, everything is beautiful in its own way. The guy who sung that song, Ray Stevens, is still alive. And I was looking him up online. Come to find out, he has a line called Cabe, C-A-B-E, Ray. And I'm talking to Crowbar about it, and we're walking through it. And I'm like, Cabe Ray, what is this guy doing? And then we find out, oh no, it's a pun on words that completely slipped me, which isn't that difficult, but it slipped the master of puns and dad jokes, Crowbar. It's Cabaret.
Oh,
He has a stage show where he does performances in New Orleans.
Ray Stevens, huh?
Yeah, and a
Nashville Live Entertainment. Huh. Wow.
so I priced out tickets, and I was like, Crowbar, how about you, John, our wives, we all meet in Nashville to go to Cabaret. See the crazy things we talk about when you're not here?
Yeah.
He said no. He's good for a no. He was playing. Did you get Tristan's computer fixed?
Nah, I gotta glue some parts back in, and what happened was I got the hinge out that was tweaked, and I found a computer repair shop. I took it down there to see if I could get a new hinge, and the guy said, he says it doesn't look like it's bent or nothing. It looks like it might just need to be loosened up. So he took it in the back and he loosened it up and brought it back out here. Said, here, it works good now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I got the hinge back there. I just need to reinstall it, but there's some plastic pieces that snap loose too that I gotta glue them all back in. So I've already had once I got the hinge off, I was able to get it open without doing any more damage, and I turned it on. It still works and everything, but right now the video screen is detached from the back because the hinge was glued to the top of the laptop on the inside behind the screen. So I had to pop the screen out, and when I was doing that, where the hinge connects to the bottom part, there are some plastic pieces that it attaches to, and those are pulled up and twisted. So I gotta spend some time with it. We just haven't had a lot of time. Of course, it's been like 3 weeks now. I think I'd be able to find some time.
It's good to be busy.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't caught you in game in a while. What have you been? Have you managed to find any time to squeeze in anything, or have you been?
In the mornings, I might jump on for a little bit. doing it solo just isn't much fun.
Yeah.
And usually only have like an hour and a half or so to play. So most of the time I've just been watching YouTube videos or TV or driving back and forth from wherever.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got one one family last night came to the door. That was all we got for trick or treaters.
Did you have one of those, like, a sign like we're available for treats, or did you have decorations out front, or?
Yeah, we had. I mean, not a big, but I put in the front picture window. I got this light up pumpkin with a cat sitting on top of it, so they could see it through the front pretty good. And then we left our door open with the hall light on so everybody could see that we were home. But there just wasn't a lot of activity,
Hmm.
which kind of surprised me because I know there's at least three houses in this neighborhood that have younger kids. But I think the trend now is to do that trunk or treat thing.
Yeah. Yeah, we've done that a couple years ago with the first one we did was with kids from her school.
Yeah,
And then we had a couple that were community based. Of course, that died out 2 years ago. But the our daughter's high school, they did a charity event where they had sort of a trunk or treat, and then like a traveling trunk or treat where they went to some of the different community neighborhoods and like represented the school.
right,
So
right.
like that was it's a good thing. I mean, especially if you do it at a park or a playground, the kids still get a big area to walk around and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. And that's kind of what it looks like they're mainly doing around here is they have we saw different schools that had them set up, different churches had them set up, different neighborhoods had them set up. So I got a feeling that's probably the trend. Um, but the ones that came last night, I mean, he had looked like two two daughters, maybe 4 or 5, and that had a younger boy, maybe 2 years old.
Hmm.
So, and the mom and dad were all dressed up, so they were enjoying it.
Well, that's cool.
But it just surprised me. I mean, I would have expected more, but we left our lights on up until about I think it was 8:30, somewhere around there. And I mean, we didn't even get the teenagers that usually used to come around, you know.
Hmm.
And what I'm talking about is back in California the last 30 years.
Yeah.
I mean, you always got the older kids coming around getting candy. But we always had a pretty good turnout in the neighborhood we were in California. It just, and right here where we're at, we're in like it's a, what do you call it? Just a little circle. So it's off the main street, and there's like a bunch of these going up and down the road off of the main street, cul-de-sacs or whatever you want to call them. But there's about 10 houses in each cul-de-sac, and they're not that far apart really. But like I said, we only got one set, so
Well, at least you had somebody.
at least nobody came and stole all our stuff.
Yeah,
That's just terrible.
it was a rough day for her. She was,
Yeah,
I mean, and the thing she was complaining about was, it's just this $15 basket sort of thing, and you know, it's money out of her pocket.
yeah. That's kind of discouraging. I mean, you put something out there like that and expect everybody to benefit from it that comes by, and then some bozo comes and takes it all. Didn't even
Yeah.
bring his own bag.
Well, the other camera footage shows somebody in the car, um, and they say something like "get in the car" or something. So, like it's a whole funny thing.
Yeah,
It's just, um, but then again, if she made a deal of it, there'd be immediately be people saying, you know, um, you left candy out in the box. What'd you expect? Like it's but hey.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we've had decorations stolen before, and that was in California. We had a like a 5 foot blow mold Santa Claus.
Hmm.
So I mean, you can't touch those things anymore. I think you can pick them up off the internet for like 300, 400 bucks. I paid $50 for mine probably 35 years ago. And we took it to California with us, and it was out there. We put it out on the front doorstep every year, and about 5 years ago, somebody walked off with it. So,
Hmm.
they probably sold it for a few bucks at one of the
Flea markets.
what do you call them? Yeah, flea markets or the one of the shops, the antique shops. We saw one that looked like it that had been repainted, and I kept thinking, well, that was probably it, but I never went into question it.
Hmm.
So, but we got our $50 worth out of it. Like I said, we had them for a good long time. And I used to read in the papers all the time about people would post in the editorials that their decorations were stolen, and they had them for a long time, and they were passed down from their parents or whatnot, and no questions asked. They'd like to get them back. I know they never did, but it's just sad when that kind of happens. Luckily, all they took from y'all was the candy
Well, in the baskets.
and the baskets.
Yeah. She definitely felt the baskets. So
But like I said, I saw your live stream, so I jumped in to watch it.
I appreciate it.
I turned it back off because I was getting an echo. Every time you talked, I was getting an echo. So
Yeah, sorry about that.
that's okay. I guess it was the echo from hearing you on the live stream, and then
Oh, and then the Discord, yeah. Yeah, you got to pick where you are. Are you live or are you Memorex? You know.
there it is. Try it again. Well, how do I know? I mean, I'm live.
Well, you are because you're on Discord. Well, which one did you mute and did the echo go away?
Well, actually, I've got them both up now, and I'm not getting the echoes.
Hmm. Interesting.
Well, I had turned off the. Oh, maybe that's what it is.
Well, do you hear music?
No, I don't.
Then you have the stream volume turned off, and you're just talking on Discord. Matter of fact, it's funny that you say that. They did a whole thing today where they released a how to invite people into your stream in as like a backstage or backseat something or whatever. And kind of interesting timing. My better half started working on her because with the work she's been doing, social media has had some, you know, there's been some lanes she's had to stay in. And she posted a video yesterday at the same time that I posted a video of me sitting in the car of an empty parking spot going, "Happy Halloween." That's the end of the video. That's it. That's all it is. And it got over 4,000 views.
Wow.
Yeah, and she spent a little bit of time doing a video footage for an event and putting this video out there, and it was like, significantly less. And we were trying to explain to her that it's like the scene from Blazing Saddles. These are common people, farmers, the pillar of the earth, morons. Like you got to dumb it down a little bit. Yep. So I have been trying to do detailing. That's what's been keeping me busy. This is like, I haven't touched the oil on this map, and this is episode 84. Yeah, I'm at like 700 to 800 hours on this game, on this series, and the streaming has really helped me not play the game too fast, because the two prior series I did sort of recap videos and postings, and I'd knock out 10-12 hours worth of content in a day, and then it would just be me churning through it. And then it's like, well, how do I summarize this? It's like, I don't know. The map's huge now. Like it lost all of its, it's that same problem with being retired and home early. You have more time than what's expected. And, you sit down here in the morning with, hey, I got my morning coffee. I'm going to play my game. It's like it's lunchtime. Yeah, I'm still having fun. Let's keep playing. It's dinner. Yeah, now I'm bored of the game. Why? Because you played it too much. So it's been interesting. I picked the name for this port down here, Atchafalaya, or Atchafala.
That's the one that's in the center screen there now?
Yeah. So this is actually, all of these cities' names are in the location where they exist in the real world. It's a realistic map, but it's not GPS accurate. Because you got to fit scales to the game and stuff.
Right.
So, things are, like if you're in New Orleans and you go right outside of New Orleans, you get the White Kitchen, which is right outside of New Orleans. And if you go, if you're in New Orleans and you go, here we go. And you go east, you hit, Gulfport, Mississippi City, Pascagoula, Pensacola, and then Jacksonville. They're in the right order of where they are, in the real world.
Oh, okay.
So, like, that's the orientation that I have on the map. It's not meant to be a realistic, it's just meant to be, it's how I captured the whole breadth of the Mississippi River by making this map as challenging as possible.
Yeah.
Because I've played this game enough that, like, if I put a river on a map or a lake, I just build a bridge over it and skip it. Like, it's too easy and too cheap to build a bridge. And when I made this map, I sort of divided the map across the Mississippi and set myself the goal that unless there's an actual real world bridge at that time that the game clock is set to, I cannot build the bridge. So right now there's only one bridge across the entire Mississippi, except for some small traffic up in Minneapolis, St. Paul. So for this entire breadth of this map, the only way to get across the river is by barge.
Oh, okay.
And it has, like, all the oil is down here in, Beaumont, Texas, Texarkana, Shreveport area. So, like, if this is the first time in this entire series I've gotten to get oil. And like I said, this is episode 84. This is my third episode just trying to build the stations and detail them a little bit. And they're not super detailed, but as far as like, me in this game, trains pull up and there's a bunch of tanks they got to get fuel from. They got to come down here and it's sitting here waiting for a barge to come up and pick it up. And it's, there's just tanks sitting here. The average game wouldn't have, like the game doesn't put these here. It puts, these smaller things down here on the dock. And as you pick them up, these tanks disappear. So I put these in to give it a sense of, to actually look like a loading area for oil. But this is the entire length of the map. Opelousas, Baton Rouge, Vicksburg, Natchez, Memphis, Cape Girardeau. We're still not at, here you go, St. Louis. Like the game is just, the map is I did what I think is a really good job of keeping the map looking huge and making it so that if you want to go from New Orleans to St. Louis, you have a trip on your hands. Granted, as time moves up and vehicles move faster, it'll get easier.
Yeah.
But the other thing I did to keep it a little interesting is this food factory is called the Anheuser-Busch Brewery. So, anytime I'm bringing crops into St. Louis, they're going into the Anheuser-Busch Brewery in St. Louis. Just add a little bit of color to the game. Because otherwise, it could be, like, on this scale, the game can get monotonous. Which is actually what killed my last two game series. All the passenger ferries. The monotony of the game, it reached a point where I had to start building something. And, like, here's the Illinois River. Which happens to have a bridge across it. So, like, there's an accurate bridge, but it's the Illinois River, which turns into the Des Plaines River, or I can't remember the name, but then it turns into the Chicago Sanitation Canal. Like, I did not know, and of course Crowbar knew this instantly, that Chicago actually dug a canal from the Great Lakes through the Chicago River to bring it all the way down into the Illinois River, so that it would dump all of the sewage from Chicago down into the Mississippi and let it flow down into St. Louis. Like, I mean, it's like, wait, how did I never hear of that before? Like, that's
I'd never heard of that.
That is pretty gutsy to think that, because I mean, Chicago is on, the Great Lakes are to the east of Chicago. So, and the water flow is in from the Great Lakes. So, Chicago had no way to take wastewater and dump it. Like at one point, they actually built a tunnel that went like 2 miles out into Great Lakes, and then had it come up to a vent where just literally, hey, poop is flowing out. Bluff, bluff.
Oh,
And then they did another one to try and bring fresh water in from even further. And then if a storm happened or something changed, like it would get clogged up, and then they'd have, contaminated water coming in. So, like, it was very interesting to research it, because I was sitting here trying to figure out, how do I get steel from Gary, Indiana down to St. Louis? And as soon as I Googled it, the answer was the barges take the Chicago Sanitation Canal all day long. I was like, really? And then, then of course Crowbar logs in and he's like, yeah, my office used to be near there. Like, he knew the whole history of the thing. And it's, so I've tried to keep events like that historically accurate, because again, you're working in the game scale,
yeah.
you have a truck, and right next to the truck is a skyscraper. They're not going to be to scale. You have to dispense with reality sometimes, in a video game. But as long as you're having fun with it,
Well, that's it. Yeah.
yeah, it's and again, it's not like we're playing a first-person shooter where, you know, you have to be accurate for, distance and altitude with the weapon and all that other stuff. But yeah, it's I have 50 barges on here. I have never played a game with even close to this amount. So as people, you can see that this was a period of time where I didn't know how many I was going to have. And then I was like, well, I might only have 2 or 3 more. And then it was, no, I need 10. And then it was, I need 20. And then it was, I need 50. And these are getting named by every person that follows me on Twitch. That's where all these names came from. They're all people who followed the stream on Twitch. So, as more people follow, while I was playing in the area, I grabbed the stuff. I still never got Jeff, by the way, back into Rust. He is adamant that he is not doing that.
Really?
I mean, I can turn the server to PvP off all the time, but then it just runs as a PvE server.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure how much he would still play it then. Because he's...
I've seen him on. He still gets on that.
Command or something?
Yeah, one of those. And
Strategic Commander.
Strategic Commander. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that other?
Well, he was also playing Satisfactory.
Satisfactory.
Yeah, he had a couple of guys that he found. Their names were John Jr. and Crowbar the Third, and I was like, "Oh my God, he replaced you guys!" But it only lasted a day or two, and then they were done playing. So
Yeah, I haven't. I think the last time I played with him was when we played Rust.
yeah, Crowbar still laughs every time I talk about it because he recalls vividly that scream that he when he got attacked by that scarecrow in the middle of the night.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah. My first time I got attacked by one of them things. I mean, it kind of sent that shiver up your back because it was in the middle of the night. You couldn't see it. And then all I could see was its eyes, so I started beating on it. And luckily, I killed it before it killed me. That was just dumb luck.
yeah. There's I streamed a couple times. Oh, I got the scuba diving thing figured out. And the diving thing, I went out with the motorboat.
Oh,
And
okay.
it made it really easy to go out and complete that mission. And then after that, the dive master on the pier, he sends you to go start diving, where those, like the upside down 2-liter bottles are that are like buoy markers.
Right.
He sends you to start exploring those. And then there's another mission where he sends you to go kill sharks. So I was able to kill at least one shark, but that was because my dive tank ruined its indigestion. The shark just appeared out of nowhere. I was swimming and I was looking for something, and all of a sudden it was, the screen turned red, a bunch of noise, and then you're dead. And then happened to glance the picture of the shark at the end of it, and I was like, holy cow, that was quick. But yeah, the whole scuba tank thing, getting it refilled, that all worked out to be pretty cool. Oh, that's cool. This guy's got oil on him, and they're heading all the way up to Dubuque. So, I mean, this thing will be hauling for 50 minutes. Get, across the map just to get fuel delivered.
Wow.
So I could do it way quicker with a train. But I mean, the problem is I'm trying to use, the other vehicles and the other options on the map. Um, and because I had the last two series of this game I played. The first one I did all freight initially. It winded up just being trains everywhere. Like I used very little trucks only for local city delivery. And at some point I started working on passenger service, and the the passenger service was like, it was so overwhelming to start it from scratch that I just was like, you know what, I'll just start over. Plus, I started getting some bugs because I had pushed the game so large. So I said I'll start another series, and on that one I started with passengers first. And by the time I got around to doing freight, I was like, wait, I have to go build 1,000 lines to carry goods all over the place. At that point, I was like, yeah, that's so. There's two whole series of this game where even before I made it past this point in terms of days, but in terms of like I've been playing this game now. This is November. I started it in August. So from August, September, October, now into November, I've been playing the same map in the same series. So I've definitely spaced myself out, and I'm doing like passengers one day, freight the next, and then back and forth. So it really has helped with the combat my stupidity of playing too much, or getting micro focused in one area.
Yeah, yeah. So is everything you've built is on the river? You haven't gone
Oh no,
inland?
actually, the map when we started the map, we actually started over here at um, the Huntsville Quarry, and the very first trains, cousin Ellie, Uncle Jed, Aunt Betty. Uh, I have the game's difficulty set up very high. Now there's a game setting called very high, but I, went into the options. I'm like one notch below very high, so I don't call it very high. But if you look on the stream, if do you still have your screen up?
Yeah.
Okay, I have this little gem. These are all the rules that I'm using to make the game more difficult for myself. Like passengers and freight can't mix. There is nowhere on this map where there's a passenger train that its line touches, let alone actually drives down a freight line piece of track. So what that's done is duplicate the amount of track I have everywhere on the map, which has increased my costs to build it and increases my cost to maintain it every year. So like all of those, like this train going by on the screen right now, she has a caboose on the back. The caboose adds nothing of value to the train. It made it cost more to buy it on the first day, and then every year it has to pay maintenance to keep the caboose. And the entire time the train is driving around, it's just a little bit longer, which means that it blocks junctions just a little bit more, or a little bit longer even, and it costs annual maintenance to keep the caboose on here. So it's a more accurate looking freight train, and it's just it's this it's like an anchor on the back of the train. It's just dragging it down just a little bit. And when you've got the cost cranked up so high, you know piece by piece it adds up. You know, but this line is where I started, and it took I think 2 or 3 days. You know, we had. Let me pull the screen up. So, during most Sardor joined in most of the nighttime streams for the first week, Like he was hanging out and we were chatting as we were trying to build stuff because I was waiting for, you know, I'd be sitting here in this train and, we'd be waiting for it to get to the station just so we had enough money to put one more car on the back of it.
Oh,
Yeah, so it has very much been a struggle to even get started on the map. And then, piece by piece, like this junction right here, every time a train comes through here and we add another one, this junction's been torn apart and had to be redone. So all of that has cost money. The other thing that I have on the map is that we're single track everywhere. So you wind up with things like this Illinois Central 4611. She's waiting to go. She's going down to Mississippi City. It's not a long way to go. I mean, she's literally going all the way down here to drop these off. And like her round trip time is 14 minutes. So we could sit here and talk for the next 15 minutes. She will come back around finally and we'll be able to see her. So there's definitely, where is that train that we were just looking at? This happens all the time. I move the camera even a little bit and it's like, wait, where the hell am I? Because there's so much stuff going on. You get lost with it.
Yeah, that's quite a bit.
But you wind up with, trains just waiting. Auto save up there. The game file is heading towards a gig in size. So that's impacting things. But here she goes. Here's, here's Aunt Betty. We got a flag. So she's heading into the Huntsville cement factory. It's definitely interesting. The place has been kept interesting to see and, all the changes and stuff.
I don't know if I'd have the patience to do something like this.
Yeah, it's definitely. Yeah, I think that's a big. Yeah, here's the cement factory. I mean, it was days, and then of course every time you come by, around the map, it makes its updates and so So what are you playing tonight? Anything? Or is this just to pop in and hang out for a little bit, relax thing?
Yeah, I was just popping in. Like I said, I just finished watching another YouTube channel that was live. I was watching some guy in California that I used to watch, and he had a live stream tonight. And I was just getting ready to get off, and I saw yours pop up, and I thought, dang,
Well, I was glad we got to catch you.
yeah,
Glad to hear you're doing well.
yeah, we're doing pretty good. Tracy's done with her treatments right now,
Well, that's good news.
so she just I think next Monday she goes in for a checkup, and then we got a couple of those throughout the year. But as far as the radiation and the chemotherapy, all that's done for right now.
Well, it's good to be able to move forward.
Yeah, it is.
Well, this is, I think I've been at this for 3 hours. And I think I will definitely be, yep, it's almost at the 3 hour mark now.
Yeah.
I set out to detail tonight, and I mean, I've got oil flowing, or crude flow into oil flow into fuel, and the fuel yeah, there it is. It's stacked up at the port, heading out to different cities. So let's see how much she picks up. She's got 136 waiting, so she'll fill up. Yep. And now she'll make a delivery run. So things are working, which means, and see, this is what's also helped drag the series. I don't want to say drag it out, but it's helped to make it more entertaining.
Yeah.
You know, I've got something accomplished. So now, I'll leave this area because we're going around the map counterclockwise. So next time I come back and stream the series, I'll be over here in New Orleans. Which right now, like down here, the bakery area is all called the Cafe Du Monde, which everyone who's stayed up late in New Orleans knows.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, but only at 4 or 5 or 6 in the morning. So the French Quarter's got 416, 356. So let's call that 780. The Garden District 561. So that's 1280, 1340. And then the Ninth Ward has another 539. So we've got almost 2,000 people in New Orleans as far as game numbers. And the total map right now has about 36,000 people on it. So, game simulated people. So it's definitely, on its way. But I think that is definitely an end of the stream for the night.
Okay.
I'll be back next time in New Orleans.
I'm glad I caught you.
No,